Hey, how's it going, guys? It's John with Zebulon Pottery. In this video, we're going to be using this template, which is free in the description, and we're going to go step by step and show you how to build your very own slab mug. You're going to want about 3 pounds of clay. I like to have a 45-degree cutting tool. So you're going to want one of these little metal ball tools. So from pretty much every pottery project, you're going to want some water. And I also like to have a cheap paintbrush whenever I'm hand building. You're definitely going to need a needle tool. You're going to need a rolling pin or a slab roller. You're going to want the free template that's in the description. And you're going to want some scissors to go ahead and cut that template out. Go ahead and roll out your clay. And you're going to want to roll it out to about 3/8 of an inch thick. And the best way to check it is to cut a sliver. And you want it to be about the size of a pencil. Now that you've cut out your template, go ahead and lay it out. You're going to notice that you've got a lot of extra clay. Usually when you're hand building, you're going to start off with a little bit more clay than you need, and that'll go back into the scrap pile. Once you've got it cut out, go ahead and remove your paper template. And you're going to notice on the template, I've kind of put lines that tells you where to make your cuts. So go ahead and cut a 45 on that line, flip your clay over, and you're going to cut basically that same 45, and then those two 45-degree angle cuts are going to line up perfectly. Before you attach everything, you're going to go ahead and slip and score. So you're going to take your rib and slide that through, add a little bit of water or slip, and then you're going to go ahead and stick them together. Make sure you give it a good pinch and wiggle. Because your mug is made to hold water, make sure that that seam doesn't have any like pin size holes in it. At this point, I love to like roll my rim and make sure that the profile of my pot is something that I enjoy and like. So at the base of the mug, I'm going to use my thumb, and I'm going to kind of pick a spot on my thumb that I can line up with the outside diameter of that circle, and I'm going to pinch all the way around so that it looks like it kind of grows out of the table. And I push that bottom in just a little bit so that I've got kind of a nice foot that it'll rest on. So we're going to come back in with our scoring rib. We're going to cut the bottom of our mug, and then we're going to cut the top of our foot plate. And this needs to be a really solid attachment, so you're going to make sure that you slip and score it, and then when you start to push them together, really make sure that they seat. Any kind of small holes here can obviously cause your pot to leak, and you'll notice how when I push, you can almost see like clay squishing out just a little bit. That's, in my opinion, a very good thing. And at this point, you're just going to work your way around, make sure that those seams really seat together nicely. Now with that metal ball tool that I talked about earlier, you're going to take that and you're going to run your seams. Really take your time here. This is going to do a couple things. One, it compresses that attachment, which makes it a little bit stronger. It also makes it easier to clean, which is very good, I think, for functional tableware kind of items. And then the last thing is it's going to make sure that your pot doesn't leak. So super important, and that tool is the best tool ever for that. So when I go to attach my handle, I'm going to look for the seam in my mug, and that's where I'm going to attach the handle. I think this kind of hides that seam a little bit better, and it may add a little bit of strength to that seam, which I think are good things. I'm not going to talk too much about how to make a handle here. There are so many ways, and I think with handles, it's all about just being creative. So whether or not you pull it, you roll it, you extrude it, or you cast it, they're all good. That being said, no matter how you make your handle, you're going to need to slip and score it. And because this is a load-bearing attachment, this really matters. So when you seat it, I always seat the top first and make sure that I get a good grab. The bottom, you can get away with it not being as nice, but really take your time attaching that handle. Do your last little bit of touch up, and then I would let it rest for a little while and come back later and make your final adjustments once it gets a little leather hard. This just shows you a couple of different mugs that I made. Hopefully you found this video helpful, and thank you guys for sticking around to the end.